everyone. So today I want to look at this quick study we did last time, and I want to approach it the way we would approach things in art lessons. So when I studied art at college, that's all of the knowledge that I have. It was a couple of years I did, and yeah, so we would look at the same object and try to express it with other mediums or in different visions, and it could be anything quite drastic. It could be just charcoal, or it could be markers, inks, anything like that. So what I'm going to do is, this is the main piece that we're looking at today, but on the opposite page here I am going to try and create thumbnails of this kind of these flowers, not necessarily exactly the same, but just maybe take one or two of them and just look at it in different perspectives. So what I have here is still the same watercolor that I used for illustrating, for painting these crocus flowers, and I'm definitely going to use that here, just maybe in a different way. So I'm going to give myself little windows. I'm going to use this pencil here. So I suppose something of this size. Because this is a water-soluble graphite, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of create these frames for my studies. Also, I'm doing this and hoping that it will transfer less onto the page where I've done the flowers. And it kind of looks a little bit more sketchy, I suppose, as well. Okay. So that's that. I'm going to start by using a pencil. Let's see, I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use the blue, black and yellow. This is the Zebra Sarasa clip pens, and I'm just literally going to sketch out. Actually, I'm going to dry this first. So, now that these frames are ready for some sort of illustration, I've got these Zebra Sarasa clip pens. This is the yellow and blue black, and all I'm going to do is just kind of sketch out these flowers, and I don't really want this to be realistic or precise. I want to work on different styles in each of the windows, and that is a very good exercise that I have learned when studying my art at college, that kind of teaches you to look at things in different perspectives, and sometimes it really helps to loosen up. So I'm just going to loosely put these flowers in, even add some of the blue in some of the areas, and maybe some of the yellow into this color. And then I'm going to look what purples we have. We have this lovely purple here. So this one doesn't say it in English because it's a pastel color. I'm just going to add it right into here. So that is it. And then some green. So I've got this green, and then just give yourself a few little green bits and pieces. So this is one, and very simple, very easy. I'm going to actually take watercolor for the next one, and I'm going to do it in different colors. So I'm going to do an orange, a more kind of brighter orange this time. Let's go with this one, like that, and add a little bit of the yellow. So this I want to be more even more loose, kind of more abstract even. So I'm going to let these yellows collide a little bit, and then I'm going to take this purple right here. See, if I touch them, they're going to create a bit of a mess. So I'm just going to try avoiding doing that and just leave it like so. So this is incredibly loose. Then I'm going to go into this green and just basically do something like that. Okay, next one, I want to take an ink pen. I'm going to let my brush sit here to dry, like so. This is my chopstick holder, this chili. So next thing is ink pen. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to use this ink pen, which is, it's loaded with the Waterman ink, which means it's water soluble. So whenever you have an issue with your ink pen, if it has dried up, just dip it into your jar of water, and that's it. Dry it up and it will be ready to go. So what I'm gonna do here is do kind of like a sketchy so this is very, very sketchy. And what I might do as well is add a few lines just to break it up like that. And if I'm going to go into watercolor now, it will all blend, and let's see what happens. That's a nice experiment. I'm just going to make the ink touch the watercolor. And then wherever I want there to be more brightness, I'm just going to go into the clean watercolor and just add it like so. So I think this one I'm going to leave purple. I don't need to do anything here. I'm going to add a little bit of green just here and there, like that, just to again break it up a little. So again, very loose interpretation, but rather nice, I think. I quite like it. Okay, so I have two more ink pens here. I've got one which is water soluble again, so this is a very fine one, and I think I'm going to place it here. So let's see, I'm going to do a loose drawing again, like so, like that. And then I'm going to try and do single or continuous line drawing and see what we get out of this. I am lifting my pen to go from one flower to another, so it's probably not technically continuous line, but I'm trying to do it within the flower, not lifting it, so that will give me a different look. Okay. So you can see in some areas it becomes a little bit darker and overlaid, and you can enforce that by adding a little bit more, and why not just some doodly lines here just to be a little bit different. like that. So onto this I'm going to again add some watercolor, and I'm going to do this orangey color here and see what happens. A bit more, and I'm dipping the brush a little bit stronger into that orange. Using watercolor with ink can be really fun, especially if the ink is water soluble. I will show you what it looks like if you use a waterproof ink, which is a completely different look. But let me just for now add a little bit of purple here and there, and some green. Like that. So that's that. Let's have a look now at a waterproof ink. So I'm going to use this one, and again I'm just enjoying this loose sketchy kind of look, and I'm just going to sketch these flowers in a very loose and broken line kind of thing. If I want, I can go ahead and draw them out a little bit more. So here, whatever I'm putting is how it's going to stay. There's not going to be any movement of the ink. Just make sure you give it at least, you know, some seconds. That's it. Okay. So let's see. I'm just kind of wanting to add something to this. I don't know what. Maybe I will add some watercolor and see what happens actually, since all of them have a bit of watercolor. Yeah, let's just do that. That's much better in my opinion. Kind of makes it look a lot more finished. And then I'm going to go into this olive green and just let it blend in a little. Okay, so that's much better. Okay, let's go back into this now, which has been a few seconds, let's say about 20 seconds. And we're going to go into yellow again. So you can see the yellow stays pure. There is no blending of the ink and changing the color. So it can be something you like. It depends what you're going for, what kind of look. And I'm going to add some of this into here. And then going into the green again. And I'm going to break up this green by adding a little bit of sap green, just like that. Okay. So that's that. Now let's see what we do with the last one. Okay, so for the last one, I'm thinking of using these Poscas. I'm not entirely sure whether I should put them on first or later, but I think I will just start by sketching out the flowers as we've done here, like that. And I'm just going to do yellow and oranges just because that's what I have. I don't have any more colors than that. So I'm just going to do, not filling in all of the lines, but just very sketchy. Like that. And a bit of yellow into here as well. That's it. That will have to do. And I don't have green. I think I already said that. So I'm thinking I will just, let's see, I actually quite like how this ink looks with green. So I'm just going to draw these things here and then combine it with this ink pen. So this is the Sailor Fude De Mannen ink pen, and I will add all of the links below. So I'm going to go in now with the watercolor again and see how different that will look. Going to add a bit of this orange here and there, and then green. Sometimes you just have to experiment a little to understand whether it's your jam or not. So I'm just going to use a little bit of water to let this blend in and get quite beautiful. Okay, so that's a little study here, and I could have, you know, used more things like acrylic paints, or maybe even different inks, or oil pastels. You can really grab as many as you want, but I wanted to kind of keep it within pens and watercolors and show you the difference of styles and things like that. So here we go. So let's recap. So this is the Sarasa zebra pens with a bit of watercolor on top. Then we have this one, very abstract. You know, if you didn't have this next to it, you would never be able to tell that this is what it is. Then we have kind of still abstract, but a little bit more detailed. This is the Fude De Mannen Sailor Fountain Pen with Waterman ink and watercolors. Looks really beautiful. I love this one. And then I really love this one, which is the Platinum Carbon ink pen, and it's got carbon ink inside there, so it's waterproof. And then this one was the Muji 0.25, so it's a very fine tip ink pen, but it's also water soluble, and actually, although I really liked it in the beginning, the more it stays moist. So if you would hit it with the heat gun, it actually would be better, because the more it stays with the water, it kind of all sort of blends out and starts to look a little bit messy. Whereas with this ink, I actually like the more it stays with water, the more milky it becomes, the more interesting it starts to look. So Posca pen as well, not my favorite. It kind of looks okay, but just not my favorite. So I definitely would say doing the study really made me want to do more of these two. I mean, this is something I've been doing a long time anyway, but I haven't done this for a while, and so that's a good way of kind of showing yourself what you can do. So I hope this was useful for you, and thanks for watching. See you soon.